Good morning, everyone. Futures Brizio here at 8 a.m. on Friday, August 16th, 2024. Hope everybody's doing well. Figured I'd make this early video. This is actually a follow up to the video I made last night where I was kind of looking ahead. Uh, Not only did I review a couple of trades from yesterday, but more importantly, I was looking at what was going to potentially happen in the session today. And it looks like that has played out so far. And unfortunately, I am not on board with any of these trades. As I mentioned yesterday in the video, I generally tend not to trade these overnight sessions. It's just kind of a rule that I have. I'm not saying I never do it, but I tend not to. And this is one of those times where I probably should have. But hey, this is the nature of trading. It can be frustrating in a lot of ways sometimes, as well as it can be rewarding. Let's just review what's going on right now, and we'll see. So before we get started, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Helps out the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate it. And of course, any questions or comments, drop them down below. So let's start off on crude oil. So as we were talking about last night, in fact, this arrow right here is the arrow I drew last night when I made the video. You can go back and watch it. This is when I drew it last night. And you can see what I was thinking, that we had tapped into this zone right here. And we would sell off from it, and we sure did. And you can see right now we're way down here. So we kind of consolidated a little bit lower during the overnight, and then we snapped right down. And if we look at the 4-hour chart, we'll just zoom back in a little bit, get the candles kind of. This is that box that I just showed you on the shorter time frame, where we kind of, we had made this nice run up, but as of the last couple of days, we were trending back down again. We rallied back into this old supply zone here, and we pushed down. And back on the 15-minute chart, again, this was the overnight session last night. And then, we had this big push down, and you can see we're, just consolidating a little bit right now. If we look at levels to possibly look to trade into, let me just reuse this little rectangle right here. Of course, we got this area right here. This is the 4-hour chart. So we got this little zone right here, which is, still a decent ways away, because this is a 4-hour chart. So there could still be trade opportunity, just trading pullbacks, at least into this zone. And if it gets through there, then we'd be looking back at these, contract lows. Probably a safe bet would be somewhere down about here. So let me get rid of this arrow now. Not the Heiken-Ashi. The arrow. There we go. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at for this. And it's unfortunate I missed that one. So a couple of targets. So it's not that I may not get any trade in this today. We go down to the 5-minute. We are pulling back here. It certainly could be a continuation trade. Especially now that we're past 8 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, jumping over to natural gas. So natural gas, let me zoom back in a little bit here. I had this box drawn, so basically we have this big move here. We took out this support level right here yesterday, and then we came down during the overnight, consolidated higher, and then we broke lower again earlier in the session today. And now we're heading towards this support level right here, which you can see on the hourly chart. If we get through this, this one, then, we have multiple layers of support further down. There's probably one here. You can see all these swing areas all become potential areas where price could react off of. So this is the first layer right here that we're heading into now. So I probably will not trade this one just because of how close it is to the support level. So I'll probably just watch this one. If it gets through here, then there's potential for more downside. Although this next level right here is pretty close by. So I can foresee me probably not doing anything with natural gas today, just based on how close together these are. But we'll see. We'll see. So jumping over to copper. So now this one's interesting. So we'll see what happens here. So we had this big push up. We're on the, well, this is a 12-minute chart, kind of an odd time frame, but it doesn't really matter. So we had this push up, and then price failed right here. Well, basically made an equal high right here, and then it's come all the way down now back to this this demand area here, and it's reacting off of there now. Now this is only a 15-minute chart, so I'll be curious to see what this does. If we get, like, you know, a pullback and then a resumption of the uptrend, you know, sort of like this, you know, and then it starts going higher, or whether this is just like a little dead cat bounce and we just keep going and break right through the support. So I'm okay with it either way. For the benefit of just more trade opportunity, I'd rather see it break lower, because I think if it gets through here, then, you know, this area down here is probably a nice area to trade into. I've got Heikin-Ashi candles showing here, so it really helps show you the areas where price will probably just sail right through, and it really only shows you the swing points. So, which is nice. So we'll see what happens with this. I'm not sure if this is setting up to go long yet, or whether, you know, this is, like I said, just a little dead cat bounce. I'm going to have to see more, you know, swing, you know, have this thing put in a higher low and then break and go higher. And we're not really seeing that yet. I guess you got this little area right here. This is the 5-minute chart now. So, but this might break higher. Let's see what happens. If we go out to the higher time frame here, this is the 4-hour chart, and, you know, this area right up here, which we're very close to, is a potential area of opportunity for price to get to. So if we come back down now, you can see here it is on the hourly chart. We're pretty close to that now. But, you know, if we zoom in here, on the 15-minute chart, there's still quite a bit of overhead. So I do think this maybe has potential to go up a little bit more before it runs into a major kind of supply area up here at this level. So we'll see. So I'll be watching this one. So right now the two I'm interested in keeping an eye on would be crude oil for a continuation, and copper for either a continuation or a break of structure to go lower. So one or the other here about where we are now. And natural gas, like I said, at this point I'm probably just going to watch natural gas today, just because of how close together these levels are. So all right, so, and then lastly on the NQ and the ES, I didn't trade either one of these yesterday, but you can see both of them are sitting right at these boxes I had drawn here at these potential demand. This was the last run up before we had this big drop in both of these. So now we're at this key level. So of course it's going to be very reactionary. There's definitely going to be selling taking place at these levels, which there is right now. You can see price pulling away from this level. This is the hourly chart, but this is not, you know, enough for me to sell on right now. But you know, it's getting close to that. But of course, at the time of day right now, it doesn't is not really great for me. I'm not a big fan of trading these before 9:30. I don't think there's any major economic news this morning from the U.S. that could drive this. So we'll see what happens. If this does continue to drift lower here, then, you know, we get a pullback and then maybe a push lower, especially once we get towards the New York Open in about an hour and 10 minutes from now. All right, so we'll see what happens on these. And it's the same setup, obviously, on the ES and the NQ as it usually is. They're both right at the same spot. But like I said, it's hard to know right at this moment whether these levels are going to hold, or we're going to just break right through here and run up a little further. So I'm not going to just jump into this because this could easily just turn and go higher again. This might be something to watch on a shorter time on a little longer time frame, like an hourly time frame. And if we get a blue Heikin-Ashi candle close here, that could suggest that we're going back higher again. Here on the 5-minute chart, this definitely looks pretty bearish on the 5-minute chart. But again, it's kind of the time of day. Even on the 5-minute, there's no entry really now, because if you were going to enter, it was back up here or up here. So I'll keep an eye on these. There definitely could be some action here on NQES, maybe crude oil, and maybe copper at some point here. So, all right. So I'll keep you posted. I just wanted to make this early morning video and just talk about what happened during the overnight. And like I said, guys, sometimes this happens in these markets where you're gonna miss entries because you're not near your computer or didn't follow your system or whatever it is. And this is probably one of those situations. For me, it was just because it was the overnight hours and I just didn't trade it. And that's going to happen. So that's it. So guys, I'll leave it there. Again, make sure you smash the like button on the way out. Any questions, comments, please leave them down below. And I'll provide you an update later if things unfold and I decide to get into anything. But at least on the surface, that's what I'm looking at the moment. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great morning, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.